Tonight on 23 News, Traditions Plaza was dedicated.
MU's homecoming parade marched again.
And Tigers enjoyed breakfast at midnight.
Hello and welcome to 23 News. Thanks for joining us. I'm Raina Sims.
And I'm Gabrielle Hayes. From MUTV, you're watching 23 News Now.
Some campus construction finally ended last week with the opening of the new Traditions Plaza. We talked with Chancellor R. Bowen Lofton about what the new plaza meant.
With 23 News, I'm Sarah Sabaki. I'm here at Traditions Plaza, which was dedicated today by the Mizzou Alumni Association for MU's 175th anniversary. The plaza was built with bricks donated by MU alumni. Donors had the option to purchase bricks with their names on them, symbolizing the tradition and pride held by MU grads.
I think it's a wonderful thing. It's not only takes up the space that really can be used for a lot of alumni activities, but it was sponsored by the Alumni Association.
Marching Mizzou performed for the first time in the new space, playing traditional MU fight songs. Alumni and descendants of the founding families filled the stage as the Chancellor cut the ribbon, officially dedicating the plaza. MU plans to hold concerts, outdoor movies, spirit rallies, classes, and other campus activities in the space. Students and alumni alike are proud of the tradition that the plaza represents.
At some point, I will no longer be a student here. I won't be walking around Mizzou every single day, and this is an amazing spot that I know I can return to and feel at home and keep that tradition alive.
Throughout the event, Chancellor Lofton emphasized the importance of tradition on campus.
Traditions are very critical because they bind you together across generations. If you meet somebody today who graduated 50 years ago, you will have experienced the same traditions in some cases.
He also shared his excitement in experiencing his first MU homecoming.
Where I came from last did not have homecomings. This place, I believe, is the oldest homecoming in existence, so we have a long history here of doing this. And just seeing the people around the campus today who've come back for this moment is very special. Tomorrow with a parade, to be able to experience that directly myself, to be able to see some of the decorations around town, the floats, that's special as well. Then to be at Vanderbilt after that.
All proceeds from the bricks will go toward upholding MU traditions, including homecoming, Tiger Walk, and student scholarships. With 23 News, I'm Sarah Sabaki.
The homecoming parade happens every year to commemorate MU's proud homecoming tradition. Let's take a look at this year's parade.
Lauren Pedersen for 23 News, and Saturday morning the homecoming festivities were kicked off with the annual parade. When asked about their favorite part of the parade, parade goers had a few clear winners.
I like seeing all the floats that are like competing against each other and figuring out the themes and everything, and so creative.
Probably all the floats of the different Greek organizations. They're just really cool.
Probably the floats. The floats. We came to see the floats. They're cool, the themes of them, and like how much work the sororities and fraternities put into them.
I absolutely love the band. Percussion is my thing. This is actually my first year. I came to Mizzou from Ohio, and I absolutely love it. It's been a great experience so far. I'm a freshman. It's my first year, 7 a.m., and I was ready to go.
Oh, it's fantastic. I'm loving it so far. The weather's perfect and the floats are amazing, so it's awesome right now.
From an alumni's perspective, not too much has changed about this long-standing MU tradition.
To be perfectly honest, it hasn't changed in the sense that always drew a big crowd like this. The floats were always one of the highlights. It's much the same, just different faces.
The homecoming parade was a fun event for students, alumni, and family. I'm Lauren Pedersen for 23 News.
Mizzou After Dark hosted their annual Almost Midnight Breakfast last week. We talked with Tigers there to see how they enjoyed their non-traditional meal.
Have you ever had breakfast at night? Mizzou After Dark has. Let's take a look.
Students lined Tiger Square as Mizzou After Dark served up the highly anticipated free Almost Midnight Breakfast.
They've got eggs here, bacon, biscuits and gravy, or they can do jam. It's awesome. They got everything. I was malnourished before I came, and now I'm stuffed. I feel good.
Almost midnight breakfast is kind of a tradition that they started, especially for the Greek students that have been working so hard all year getting ready for the big house decorations that go on tomorrow night. So it's just kind of a nice break for them, and also to celebrate homecoming and invite all the Mizzou students.
So what exactly was it that made students come out during homecoming week?
It's free food.
Free food. And I love breakfast food. It's my favorite thing to have for dinner sometimes, so.
I think it was actually the atmosphere. Nice little night, chilling with my friend, and see a lot of students out here. I may see more people, I know.
I was just walking in the rec and I found the breakfast.
It was an overall success as students took a break from studying to enjoy a great meal put on by an organization with a great cause.
We get to meet so many Mizzou students, and we love to see them happy at our events, and just supplying like a fun and free and alcohol-free event for them every Friday night is something that's so much fun.
It's a three-peat for me.
Really?
Yeah.
We're freshmen.
I'm graduating, but I'll still come back for this.
An awesome night for Mizzou After Dark with a great turnout and more than enough enthusiasm for next year's annual event. I'm Gabrielle Hayes, and this is 23 News.
John Cadlick, the former MU football player, coach, and commentator, died this morning. He was known as Mr. Mizzou during his 16-year radio career. Cadlick was 86.
Breast cancer survivor and MU employee Cassandra Casperson spoke to students about her story. Let's take a look.
It actually took 2 months and about 5 doctor's visits to figure out that I actually had breast cancer, because people didn't expect somebody my age to have it.
After going through 4 rounds of chemotherapy to help rid herself of cancerous cells, MU staff member and breast cancer survivor Cassandra Casperson is once again healthy. She described her experiences when telling her story to others and shared words of encouragement for those who suffer from breast cancer.
The thing that stood out to me the most is when I tell people my story, they say, "Oh, breast cancer is not a death sentence." And I think that means a lot to me, to have people realize that you can be okay after this happens, because I think when you're really unfamiliar with it, you have the concept that it's going to kill, that it's going to kill you. And I'm not saying that it doesn't do that, because of course it does, but there's a lot of women who make it through it, and I think that that's a really positive thing to remember.
This has been Nina Rue for 23 News.
The competition for naming MU's newest residence hall has been narrowed to 5 choices: Gateway, Carver, Caspian, Justice, and Sustainability. The names have been sent to Chancellor Lofton and are awaiting approval.
With midterms coming up soon, TAP, Tigers Against Partisan Politics, has made a push to get MU students registered. We sat down with them to see how their efforts went.
Associated students of the University of Missouri teamed up with Tigers Against Partisan Politics to register students to vote for this year's midterm elections.
We got about 700 people registered, which is a lot, and especially for midterm elections, which usually have like low voter turnout, especially from young people. It was really great to see people get involved and come out to register.
It was made very clear how important it is for not only students but members of the community to exercise their right to vote.
We kind of targeted freshmen. We did a lot of registration in residence halls, and to get that many in a midterm election year was really impressive.
I think it's really important to do your civic duty, and this is the one thing you have to really influence the political process, influence the laws that are being made. And it's such a simple thing to do.
The leaders of TAP continue to explain their thoughts about Mizzou's abilities to politically educate students.
In general, institutions don't do a great job of making sure that young people know that this is really accessible and that this is something that they should be doing.
That's the reason we have kind of organizations like ASUM, is so we can have a student group advocating for these issues.
Although TAP deemed the voter registration process a success, there were still a couple of areas they believed could improve the next time around.
As our task force continues to grow and we're able to train more people, we'll have more people available to go to these different places all simultaneously.
Prepare a little bit earlier, get more people to help out and cover more ground would be great.
It was a great effort made by TAP and ASUM to register MU students. Midterm voting begins Tuesday, November 4th, 2014. I'm Gabrielle Hayes, and this is 23 News.
Another homecoming tradition is the house decorations in MU's Greektown. We took a look at the decorations and were wowed at what we found.
For 23 News, I'm Shelby Geiger here at House Decks, an annual homecoming tradition for Greek life and the alumni. Greektown came to life this past Friday as sororities and fraternities displayed their hard work for all to see.
I liked working on the float. I thought that was fun. And also watching the skits. It was more laid back and you didn't have to be all constantly doing something, so that was fun.
In addition to intricate pomp boards and some activities for the children, Greek pairings prepared skits that combine their theme as well as Mizzou.
Well, homecoming is the most exciting time of the year in Mizzou. There's a parade, skits, a blood drive.
So far, I think what I like about it is how kid-friendly it is for me to bring my family, and they're enjoying it, and they get to be a part of this homecoming.
Excited alumni shared with 23 News that nothing has changed since their days at Mizzou.
Oh, I just love it. I love the students, I love the fun, and I love the school spirit. Go Mizzou, yay!
House Decks this year was filled with food, fun, and entertainment thanks to all the hard work of the Greek community.
Go Tigers!
Go Tigers! This has been Shelby Geiger reporting for 23 News.
But as quickly as those decorations go up, they also come down. Let's see how the fraternities handle homecoming cleanup.
Pat Moody with 23 News. After the community has enjoyed the decorations put on by the fraternities and sororities, they need to be broken down. Even though the decorations are the results of months of hard work, there's a certain satisfaction being able to take down a project of that size.
We put a lot of work into this and it feels really good to take down. After the long nights and good times with everyone in the house doing this, it feels good to finally see the end result.
The camaraderie felt in building these is not lost in the process of taking them down. It could even be seen as fun.
We just draw all the boards because we put so much work into it. It's fun to stomp on and all that.
Although the process of building the colorful boards took months to create, the time in breaking them down is relatively short in comparison. If everyone puts in their work, it takes no more than a couple hours.
It'll take us about an hour or two. Yeah, I mean, with everything down, we got a lot of guys helping out. Everyone in the house puts in their work, and it's a really good feeling.
Others are sad to see the floats go.
Breaking down the floats, as you can see, is kind of bittersweet, I guess. Put a lot of work into it over the past couple months, and so taking it down takes a while.
For 23 News, this has been Pat Moody.
In this week's Ask Mizzou, we asked students about what Halloween pranks they enjoy.
Pretend you're an old lady.
Saran wrap over the toilet seat. I think that one's pretty good. Yeah. Or is that like April Fool's? I don't know.
This is a trick that my grandma would pull on kids. She had a fake skeleton, and she would have it laying on its back on a table with like a long tablecloth, and she'd be underneath it with her hand in like the controlling the skeleton's hand, and the candy would be on its chest. So the kids would go to get the candy, and she'd move the skeleton hand onto them, and they'd think the skeleton had moved, and they freak out and run away with the candy.
I would say if you're in a haunted house and you're a kid, I would sneak off from your parents and set up as a prop like you're being hung.
Ask my mom and see what she says. Mom, come here.
I guess you can go with the classic, one of those missing hand type of things.
Fake blood's always fun too.
On Halloween, a real person dresses up as a scarecrow and sits there and then scares everyone, but they think it's fake.
My roommates, I like to go to his room and just rearrange his stuff when he's not looking, but I only move it over like an inch, just so it'll bother him.
Not give candy.
The best trick to pull on Halloween, scaring people from bushes.
Well, that's all we have for you in MU News this week.
Now we'll bring you live to the Shack, where the 3rd annual Battle of the Bands is happening right now.
Hey guys, Kate Fallon here for E23, and I'm here with Nasa Fikri, who just played the second show of tonight's Battle of the Bands. Nasa, how do you think it went?
Well, it went pretty well actually. It's more than what I was expecting, I practiced only a little bit because I haven't had any gigs for years. So this is a gig in a long time, so dream come true.
Well, it went great. It sounded amazing. And Nasa, where do you draw your inspiration from for your music?
Well, lyrically, it's pretty much from all of my life, but musically, usually all of the modern pop rock bands, Panic at the Disco, Paramore, things like that. Yeah.
And Nasa, that was amazing. Where did you learn to play guitar?
I actually learned it by myself. My dad used to play guitar, and I just look at him, and I want to do that. It's really cool. Got girls too.
And how do you think you size up compared to the other bands tonight? Are you hopeful for the outcome?
Actually, I was just here to have fun. I don't want to compare myself because why are we comparing music? It's all about fun,
That's true, and the music is great. Tigers, stay tuned for the rest of the show.
Welcome back, Tigers. I'm Katie Kokel, here with your international, national, and local headlines. An unmanned rocket exploded over Virginia yesterday. NASA contracted the rocket to the Orbital Space Science Corporation, which made the rocket to carry supplies and experiments to the International Space Station. Following the incident, NASA Administrator Bill Gerstenmaier called the rocket science a really tough business. Conflicting reports are coming out of Ferguson, Missouri over the resignation of Police Chief Thomas Jackson. Government officials have said that Jackson will step down and that the St. Louis County Police will take control of the department. Jackson and Ferguson Mayor James Knowles said the reports are not true and that there is no plan for him to step down. Don't have any change for parking? No worries. Columbia Parking Utility added 50 meters on Hitt Street and University that will accept debit and credit card as well as change. To ease security concerns, the parking meters will only hold the card data while completing the transaction and will wipe the data afterwards. That's all we have for you today in headlines.